Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Muthia Safira Lee Zandi. My student ID is 234110028. In this video, I will briefly explain the material about behavioral theories in accounting. This slide explains the definition of behavioral accounting. Behavioral accounting is a branch of accounting that not only discusses numbers but also studies how human behavior affects the accounting process itself. This means that in practice, the preparation of financial statements, the use of accounting information, and decision-making are influenced by factors such as perception, motivation, and individual interests. Therefore, behavioral accounting is important to understand that accounting systems are not entirely objective because they are influenced by human factors within them.
This slide explains the objectives of behavioral accounting. Backhand index pointing right. First point, understanding the influence of individual behavior in the accounting system. This means that accounting does not only look at numbers, but also at how a person's attitude, motivation, and behavior affect the accounting process. Backhand index pointing right. Second point, analyzing the use of accounting information in decision-making. Here it is explained that accounting information is used by managers or other parties to make decisions, and the way they understand this information can vary. Backhand index pointing right. Third point, identifying biases and limitations of rationality. This means that humans do not always think rationally, so biases often arise that can influence accounting decisions.
Fourth point, improving the quality of accounting decision-making. By understanding behavioral aspects, it is expected that the decisions made become more accurate and are not overly influenced by biases. After understanding the definition and objectives of behavioral accounting, we will next discuss the theories underlying behavioral accounting. This slide explains agency theory. Agency theory discusses the relationship between the principal as the owner of the company and the agent as the party managing the company, such as a manager. In this relationship, the agent is supposed to act in accordance with the interests of the principal. However, in practice, conflicts of interest often occur because the agent has personal goals. In addition, the existence of information asymmetry, which is a condition where the agent has more information compared to the principal, gives the agent the opportunity to act opportunistically. In the context of accounting, this can impact the quality of financial statements, for example through earnings management practices or presenting information that is not entirely objective. This slide explains the problems that arise in agency theory. First, moral hazard. Moral hazard is a condition in which agents act in their own interest after a contract is agreed upon, for example by not working to their full capacity or making decisions that benefit themselves. Second, adverse selection. Adverse selection occurs when there is an information imbalance between the agent and the principal, where the agent has more information and can thus conceal certain facts. Third point, conflict of interest. This conflict arises due to the difference in goals between the principal and the agent, where the agent tends to prioritize their own interest. Fourth point, potential financial statement manipulation. As a result of the previous problems, agents may manipulate or adjust financial statements to appear in line with their own interests. This slide explains about motivation theory. Motivation theory is related to how drives within a person, both from internal and external sources, can influence their behavior and performance. In the context of accounting, motivation greatly affects how managers or employees work, especially in achieving predetermined targets. For example, the presence of bonuses or incentives can encourage better performance. However, if not designed properly, a motivation system can also lead to negative behaviors, such as data manipulation or achieving targets in inappropriate ways. This slide explains the contingency theory. Contingency theory states that there is no single accounting system that fits all organizations. Each organization has different conditions, such as the business environment, organizational structure, technology used, and work culture. In the behavioral context, this means that the accounting system must be designed according to these conditions in order to effectively influence individual behavior. If the system used does not match the organization's conditions, it is possible that the system will not work well and may even cause problems in decision-making. This slide explains attribution theory. Attribution theory is related to how a person evaluates the causes of an event or performance outcome. These causes can come from internal factors, such as ability or effort, or external factors, such as environmental conditions or luck. In the context of accounting, this theory is important because managers often evaluate performance based on their perceptions. For example, if performance is poor, it might be blamed on external factors rather than internal mistakes. This shows that assessments in accounting are not always objective, but are also influenced by individual thinking and perceptions. This slide explains cognitive theory and bias. First, bounded rationality. This means that humans are not always able to think rationally due to limitations in information, time, and the ability to process information. Second, decisions are influenced by perception and experience. Each individual has a different point of view, so the decisions made can also be different even based on the same data. The third point, the form of cognitive bias. Cognitive bias is an error in thinking that occurs unconsciously. Examples include overconfidence, which is being too confident in making decisions. Anchoring, which is relying too much on initial information. Confirmation bias, which is only seeking information that supports one's own opinion. Fourth, its impact on accounting. These biases can cause distortions in judgment and decision-making, so the accounting information produced may become less accurate. This slide explains the decision-making theory. First, not always rational. This theory explains that humans do not always make decisions logically, due to limitations in understanding the information and existing conditions. Second, influenced by accounting information. Information such as financial statements, costs, and budgets becomes an important basis in decision-making, especially for managers. Third, influenced by psychological and social factors. Decisions are also influenced by emotions, experiences, as well as pressures from the environment or organization. Fourth, contains risk of bias. Because of these factors, the decisions made may not be entirely objective and may contain bias. This slide explains the theory of management control. First, results control. This control focuses on the results or performance achieved, for example through sales or profit targets. Employees are evaluated based on these achievements. Second, action control. This control regulates how a task is performed, usually through procedures, rules, or work standards that must be followed. Third, cultural control. This control is carried out through values, norms, and organizational culture that shape employee behavior indirectly. Fourth, the purpose of control. All forms of control aim to direct individual behavior to align with the goals of the organization. This slide explains the role of accounting in organizational behavior. First, as a tool to influence managerial behavior. Accounting information can be used to encourage managers to act in accordance with the company's objectives, for example through targets or performance reports. Second, as a basis for evaluating individual performance. Accounting reports are used to assess whether employees or managers have worked as expected. Third, as a mechanism for organizational control. Accounting helps supervise and control activities within the organization to ensure they remain in line with plans. Fourth, shaping decision-making patterns. Accounting information serves as a basis for making decisions, thus indirectly influencing the way individuals think and act within the organization. This slide explains the practical implications of behavioral accounting. First, the importance of ethics. Ethics is very necessary to limit opportunistic behavior, such as manipulation of financial statements or actions that harm the company. Second, accounting system design. The accounting system must be designed considering human behavior, so that it can operate effectively and not cause deviations. Third, internal control. Control should not only focus on the system, but also pay attention to human factors such as honesty, responsibility, and compliance. Fourth, reducing bias. By understanding the existence of bias in decision-making, organizations can take steps to minimize errors and improve decision quality. This slide presents the conclusion of the material that has been discussed. It can be concluded that accounting is not only related to numbers, but is also greatly influenced by human behavior. Various behavioral theories such as agency theory, motivation, cognitive, and decision-making show that psychological and social factors play an important role in accounting practice. Therefore, understanding behavioral aspects is very necessary so that the accounting system can operate effectively, produce quality information, and support more accurate decision-making. Okay, that concludes my explanation regarding behavioral theories in accounting. I will end it here. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.